Stokes' eye are more about angst meant for England players. In India's situation, Jadeja and Sundar were close to their centuries. All cricket nations would have done the same, writes Sanjay Manjarekar. It was a draw that seemed like a win at Old Trafford as young India continued to impress in England. Yes, frustrate England. This frustration became obvious in the way the match ended, where in the final moments you could see Ben Stokes visibly upset, his behaviour making headlines as much as the great escape by India on the final day. Stokes is an exceptional captain, leads from the front with impacts that change the course of the game, invariably that course being the match slipping away from England. It was business as usual for him on the final day when he got KL Rahul out, and when Gill fell to the second new ball. England were set to win the test, knowing that once the ball gets old and seamers become ineffective, his seasoned left-arm spinner Liam Dawson would take care of the rest by bowling into the rough. As it turned out, the two left-handers Ravindra Jadeja and Washington Sundar hung together for 218 minutes, comfortably saving the game mostly by batting from the rough. His bowlers had let him down again. But Stokes as captain is never seen visibly angry with his players on the field. He gives them unconditional support and backs them to the hilt, especially on the field. I think the brunt that Jadeja and Washi bore on the fifth day evening was his angst meant for his own players, but now directed at the Indians for not accepting his handshake. When that scene was getting played out, I was on commentary and said on air that surely Stokes is not expecting India to take up his offer and call the game off with two batters very close to their individual hundreds. For one, it was going to be his maiden 100, a just reward for their heroics, you would think. As expected, India continued batting and Stokes was left angry and sulking. But I realized there is more to this, because it's thanks to Jonathan Trott, who was with us in commentary, that we got their side of the story. Trott said he understood why Stokes was unhappy. It's common practice in English cricket when draws become the only result possible and both captains see the pointlessness of continuing. They then shake hands. So, it's a matter of cultural difference. But here's my point. Stokes has been to India multiple times and played against India frequently. Surely he would be aware of the Indian cricket culture, or for that matter the culture of the rest of the cricketing world. I would like to believe that in this exact situation all cricket-playing nations would have done precisely what India did. Stokes was living in a fool's paradise when he thought his handshake would be reciprocated, but I am confident that this was Stokes making a scene and trying to get the world to look at India as a milestone-obsessed cricketing nation. For not focusing on the more noteworthy aspect of the fifth day, for it was about this Indian team continuing to amaze us by their batting resolve, play for time, to play a total of 80 overs of dot balls and all in a day's work. Especially, when this is done by young 20-year-olds, who also happen to be fantastic T20 batters. And yes, IPL stars with massive price tags. They are doing this hard stuff and committing so much of themselves to a format most young players want to avoid and take the easier route to fame and financial security. Finally, on the series I will say this: Indian batters have surpassed all my expectations. Whatever the scoreline reads at the end of the series, this young batting lineup are already heroes for me, and I am sure for you too. I will also say that this team has also performed against the odds. For starters, they are away from home in unfamiliar territory. Most of them are on their first trip to England and playing against a team that has a style of its own, as we saw in the first test. I will also say that they have achieved this despite the poorest team selections and tactics that I have seen in a long time. In fact, the batters have actually saved Gautam Gambhir's skin on more than one occasion. Just imagine what if they had got the controllables right? Get all the insights, reactions, and expert breakdowns in this detailed update. Don't forget to subscribe for more cricket news and behind-the-scenes analysis.